make sure you're using your small pantry as efficiently as possible. Right now, my family, as well as many other families around the world, is self-quarantined. And one of the things that means for us is we're having to buy more groceries than usual, just so we don't have to leave the house as much. I, for one, wanted to see how we could fit all the groceries into our pantry as opposed to making a pile of groceries somewhere else. This is what our pantry looked like before I started organizing it. If you're interested in seeing how it turned out and what I used, keep on watching. Also, if you find this video helpful, please go ahead and give it a like. This just tells the YouTube algorithm that it's worth showing it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe just so you don't miss any other videos I put out.
All right, let's get into it. First, I needed to get some ideas and set my priorities. I went to Pinterest, where a lot of projects like this start for me, and I also went onto my Instagram and asked you guys for recommendations. So shout out to everyone who either sent me their favorite organization accounts or just said that they wanted all of my recommendations once I was done with my research. So after all the research, I decided that my priorities for storage solutions would be canned goods storage, baking ingredients, snacks, and cereal. Also, before buying anything, I measured our pantry shelves to make sure everything I bought would fit well together within the small pantry space we have. Next, I went online to the Container Store and ordered everything I needed. This is me ready with my mask and gloves on, just in case I needed to get out of my car. But the next morning, everything was ready for pickup at my local store. And as much as I would have loved to browse the store, I'm so grateful that the Container Store had curbside pickup and placed everything right into my open trunk. So once I got home, it was time to start emptying out the pantry. We really needed to do this because there were so many expired things in there. There were items that had spilled and we just really didn't know that they'd spilled. So this was a good chance for us to deep clean the pantry. So after I wiped down the shelves, I also noticed that they were quite beaten up. Usually, I probably would have painted them, but this time around, I was short on time and opted for this faux wood grain contact paper to cover the shelves instead. I picked it up on Amazon. It was so much easier than painting it and looked just as good. So in order to install the contact paper, I measured out enough contact paper for each shelf and then just used that sheet to measure out 3 more for the other shelves. Now comes the fun part where I get to put everything back and organize. I started with the canned goods using the Home Edits 3-tier expandable clear shelf. Next up was snacks. Anyone else's kids asking for snacks every 2 seconds? Well, mine are. I used 2 of the Home Edits modular all-purpose bins to pack in as many different types of snacks as possible. I placed them on a lower shelf so that they would be accessible to our girls. Next, I emptied out all of our favorite cereals into a set of Exo's BPA-free cereal dispensers. It's easy enough for us to use, and most importantly, we can see when we're about to run out of a certain type of cereal. Don't you just hate when you grab a box of cereal off the shelf and it's pretty much empty? Well, I know that won't be happening in our home anymore. Next, we have all of the baking ingredients. I bake a lot, and it seems like that's been ramped up even more recently. And so to tackle these, I got the Pro Keeper Baker Storage Set that came with 6 containers. If you're curious how much brown sugar the 1.5 quart container takes, I was able to pour in about 32 ounces of brown sugar, as well as empty out 2 leftover packs. So that's approximately 48 ounces. The other cool feature about this container is that it comes with this terracotta disc insert that helps you keep the sugar moist and clump free. All you need to do is soak it in water for 15 minutes and then place it on top of the sugar and close the container. All right, so this is what the finished product looks like. I put cereal, popcorn, and honey on the top shelf, all of my baking ingredients on the next shelf, followed by canned goods and pasta, and of course the family favorite, the snack shelf. Also, if you're curious about what we have at the very bottom of our pantry, we have had those two Alpha mesh pantry drawers for something like 9 years. And it's also a similar story with the Alpha utility pantry door and wall rack. We've had that from way before we bought our home. I group the spices on there by herbs, then spices I use for baking, spices I use for cooking, and this last one is a little bit of a mixed bag. If you've ever wondered if Alpha's items are worth the price tag, I would say yes, because they have lasted us such a long time and still look brand new. I will have those linked for you guys as well.
All right, there you have it. For a list of everything I used on this project, as well as more pictures, go ahead and check out the link in the description box. My name is Sewa J. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and take a screenshot of it and share it with me on Instagram. I'm Sewa_AP. I put out new videos every week on growth strategies for your life and business. We'll see you on the next one.